One of these tools gives you 1,500 free images a day. The other doesn't offer a free API tier at all. That's just one of 5 tests I ran between GPT Image and Nano Banana. Picking the wrong one can burn through your budget testing a tool that never fit your workflow. By the end, you get the full scoreboard and one clear default pick. Test 1, Output Quality. This is the one that matters most because it's the whole reason you open either app in the first place. Pick the wrong tool here and you ship images that look fake, or worse, an image that skipped half of what you actually asked for in the prompt. Independent testing from both ZDNet and PCMag ran complex, multi-step prompts through both models. Nano Banana came out ahead at actually following every part of the instruction instead of dropping pieces along the way, and PCMag's own head-to-head also called it the more photorealistic of the two. GPT Image still has a real edge of its own. Both OpenAI's documentation and independent testers confirm it renders text inside an image far more accurately, and PCMag noted it holds up better on straight graphic design work. Drop a comment and let me know if that split matches what you've seen testing your own prompts. But quality doesn't matter much if you're sitting there waiting a full minute for every single image. So call test 1 for Nano Banana, that's 1 for Nano Banana, and 0 for GPT Image. My name is Brian, and I'm in these tools 12 hours a day so you don't have to be. Test 2, Generation Speed. If you're batch generating anything, a slow model turns a 10-minute job into an hour, and that adds up fast when you're doing this for actual client work. This is the one test where I have to be honest and say the benchmarks don't agree. Cybernews ran GPT Image 1.5 against Nano Banana Pro and had Nano Banana finishing in 10 to 15 seconds against 30 to 45 seconds for GPT Image. Atlas Cloud tested newer versions and found GPT Image 2 finishing in 5 to 10 seconds. That's actually faster than Nano Banana Pro's 10 to 15 second window in that same test. A separate comparison put Nano Banana 2 at 3 to 5 seconds, well ahead of GPT Image 1.5's 10 to 20 seconds. The sources don't even agree on which version they tested, let alone which one is faster. Speed is one thing, but the number that actually hits your wallet at the end of the month is price. So test 2 is a tie, and the running score stays at 1 for Nano Banana, 0 for GPT Image, with a tie on the board. Test 3, Pricing and Credits. Get this one wrong on a big batch job, and you can end up paying multiples more than you needed to for the exact same output. According to OpenAI's own pricing page, GPT Image runs about 1 cent a photo at low quality, 4 cents at medium, and 17 cents at high quality. Here's the honest read. At the cheapest tier, GPT Image beats Nano Banana on price. One of the biggest problems I run into when using AI agents is turning their output into YouTube content I can actually use to market my product. That's why this video is sponsored by Subscriber, a tool that helps business owners connect their AI agents to YouTube and market their products without spending 10 hours every week creating content. You can connect Claude or ChatGPT directly to Subscriber. It then analyzes your business, website, and YouTube channel to help you create SEO-optimized video ideas, scripts, thumbnails, and even complete videos that actually match your brand. What I like most is that every week, Subscriber gives me a list of high-potential video ideas I can immediately execute, and it can even help edit videos for me, with or without my face, including videos like the one you're watching right now. It's easy to get started, and you can try Subscriber for free using the link in the description below. Now back to the video. Neither model wins this one outright. It really comes down to which quality tier your project needs. So call test 3 a tie as well. Nano Banana still leads 1-0, now with 2 ties sitting next to it, and neither model has pulled away yet. So the price tag only tells you so much. What decides whether the output is usable is whether it stays consistent from one image to the next. But once you need GPT Image's higher quality settings, Nano Banana ends up cheaper than that same job. According to Google's own Gemini API pricing page, Nano Banana runs about 4 cents a photo for a standard image up to 1024 by 1024. Stick with me because the last 4 tests are where this decision actually flips. Test 4, Style Control and Consistency. This is the one that wrecks an entire project if you get it wrong, because a character or a brand style that drifts from image to image makes the whole set unusable. GPT Image actually pulls ahead in one specific spot. When you upload a single reference photo, it holds on to facial features and even head position more faithfully than Nano Banana does on that same task. But Nano Banana's reference identity feature is built for something bigger. It can hold roughly 5 characters and 14 objects, consistent across a whole sequence of generated images. That's exactly what you need for storyboarding a commercial, or building out a full set of brand assets that all need to match. Most of the actual work you're doing with these tools, is generating more than one image that needs to match, not editing a single photo. So test 4 goes to Nano Banana. There's still one test left. It could matter more than any of the last 4, because it decides whether you can even use either tool the way you want to. That puts the score at 2 for Nano Banana, 0 for GPT Image, with 2 ties. Test 5, Platform and Limits. Build on a tool with no free tier and you're spending money just to find out whether it even fits your workflow. Hitting a hard rate limit mid-project kills your momentum fast, too. Google's Gemini API gives free tier developers about 60 requests a minute and roughly 1,500 requests a day, and paid tier 1 jumps that up to 500 requests a minute. GPT Image doesn't have a dedicated free API tier for developers at all. The only free access is through ChatGPT itself, not the API you'd actually build a workflow on. That gap matters most if you're testing this out before you commit any real budget to it. So test 5 goes to Nano Banana, no contest. Final scoreboard, 3 wins for Nano Banana, 0 for GPT Image, and 2 ties along the way. GPT Image didn't win a full test, but it's not empty-handed either. Text and design layouts come out cleaner, the entry price is lower, and a single uploaded photo keeps its identity better than it does through Nano Banana. This isn't a clean sweep, it's a tool that's strong in a few specific, narrow places. So basically, here's what each one actually earned. Nano Banana won output quality, it won style control and consistency across multiple images, and it won platform access with a free tier that lets you test before you pay. It also tied on speed and tied on price, so it never lost a single test outright. If your work is text-heavy, product mockups, or straight graphic design layouts, pick GPT Image, because that's where the numbers side with it. If you need a character or a brand style to hold steady across a whole project, or you want to test extensively before spending money, pick Nano Banana. My overall default is Nano Banana. It won 3 of the 5 tests outright and tied the other 2. Its free tier means you can find out if it fits your project before you pay a cent for it. And that's the decisive reason it's the one I'd open first. One thing the docs don't spell out is that OpenAI is retiring GPT Image 1 on October 23, 2026. The pricing for its replacement isn't laid out on OpenAI's own docs with anywhere near the same detail. It's only tracked by third parties right now. If you're building a real workflow on today's GPT Image 1 pricing, budget for that migration, because the number you're planning around now might not hold past October. That's the kind of cost that never shows up on a pricing page, until you're already deep into a project. If you're weighing control against cost, I've got GPT Image versus Midjourney coming up next. And that one comes down to a completely different trade-off than anything covered here today. Watch that one next if you want the full picture before you commit to building on any of these 3.